Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today's tractor that we're going to be doing an overview on is the MX6000. This is a customer-owned package that's going for delivery in a few hours. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the unit and then talk about some of the options he has with it. So stick with us. We're going to do what we always do, start at the front and work our way to the back. So front of this MX6000, you'll see that he has a 72-inch bucket with a couple weld-on hooks in there for whenever he's pulling on some trees or whatnot in the bush. And then also you'll see he has a set of pallet forks there from HLA. Again, he does have a little bit of a sawmill, so whenever he's loading with that, it's very difficult to do all that with just a bucket, so pallet forks come in handy for that. So yeah, we sell a ton of pallet forks. They're very versatile, very handy to have. Recommend it for every single tractor that goes out there. It's worthwhile having. So like I said, this customer has that 72-inch bucket on the front of this MX with a couple weld-on hooks. Got the nice HLA pallet forks, which pair beautifully with this Kubota loader on here, which is the LA1065, which means it lifts 1,065 kilos. So you know you're around that 2,300 pounds lift capacity on that. So that's kind of some of the spiel on the loader as well as the bucket and pallet forks that are with this tractor. We do sell a lot with the third function. With the third function, you would have the option of going with the Land Pride third function, which does a nice job on that. So yes, now we're going to go talk about the engine and the operator station next here. So when talking about the MX lineup, it either comes in a 54 or 60 horsepower package. We already have done previously is a video on the cab tractors. So whenever you have the open stations, you can get the 5400 in either HST or gear drive, and the 6000 is exclusively in hydrostat. The most popular one is going to be the MX6000. The price difference between the two is pretty negligible. It's less than $2,000 to get that extra horsepower. So yeah, so you're going to see a lot of 6000s out there. The 5400 is more of a budget tractor. Other than the actual horsepower, you're not going to see any difference between two models other than the transmissions. So the MX lineup has been around for quite a while. You know, years ago it used to be called the MX5000, then it went up to the 5100 and then 52, and now currently we have the 54 6000. So you know, they've always been doing updates, and with this one, with the fresh updates, a lot of it was done in the operator station. So you'll see they've taken the hump out of it, as well as put a rubber floor mat and an actual comfortable seat. It's still an economy tractor, so it's not that deluxe seat you're going to see on a Grand L, but it is a very worthwhile seat having on this tractor. So some of the other key features too, as we'll demonstrate here in a second, is actually that PTO button that was introduced with the LX lineup, has come up through the lineup, that everything got redesigned afterwards. So is that so that you're able to turn the PTO on without having to flip the seat up and following all that. So which is great whenever you have this nice winch behind us here to power. So layout is nice and basic, being hydrostat. So you got your 3 ranges there for that lever, as well as your 4-wheel drive, forward reverse pedals. All kind of follow the same layout as what you're going to see on like the LO1 series. So very basic, but very nicely thought out, and everything's kind of where you want it. And saying that, on the LO1 series, we just got notice today that there's the L3301 and the L3901 have been discontinued, and to stay tuned for into November, they're going to be releasing some new tractors. So to give you a little bit of foreshadowing on that, they're going to be coming out with a new economy line of smaller tractors. So yeah, so that kind of gives you an overview of the operator station as well as the engines. Now let's talk about with a 3-point hitch as well as what's on the back here, which is the FX85 from Wallenstein. So talking about back on this MX6000, the 3-point hitch, whenever you compare them up against Grand L, not as deluxe. You know, it has the internal lift cylinder, so you're not going to get as great a lift capacity for some of those larger implements, or especially if you're going to use it for commercial wise, for some of those heavier snow blowers and everything. Better to still stick with a Grand L, but if you're looking for just everyday use, kind of like this tractor is going to be used for just in and around the 100-acre farm or in the bush, this is a fantastic tractor to pair up with whatever you want, whether it be just a regular snowblower, inverted snowblower, tillers, discs, stuff like that. Or in this case, an FX85 from Wallenstein. It does still come with the extendable lift arms out the back to make it easy to hook up to your implements, but you will see that it's still very open in and around it, kind of like any economy tractor, and very similar to what you're going to see on an LO1. So talking about this FX85 back here, it is from Wallenstein. The FX85 means that it lifts, or not lifts, it has a pulling capacity of 8,500 pounds. You know, it comes with 2 choker chains, and then after that, one nice little feature it has with it is the trailer hitch at the bottom here, so if you need to bring a little bit of a wagon with you to put your logs in afterwards, it's nice and simple that way. So it's just nice and simple is the big thing on a Wallenstein. You know, we get compared quite often to the Fransgard. Some of the biggest differences you're going to see between the two is the Wallenstein Simple. If something does go wrong in that braking system or anything, it's nice and easy to take apart. You know, it's 6 or 8 bolts, that whole system comes out. You can work on it. If you ever take a Franz guide apart, they are a beautiful machine, but very complicated. So lots of small pieces in there if something does go wrong. A little bit more to work on it. One of the other benefits of Wallenstein, Canadian made, which is awesome. You know, made in Southern Ontario. You know, they've been around for quite a while and very popular in our area. We sell quite a few. We really enjoy selling their chippers, winches. You've seen other videos with us with the processors as well as the log splitters. You know, very diversified company that makes a great product that pairs up nicely to Kubota. So yeah, that's kind of an overview, and then we'll talk a little bit about why this customer has selected these implements for what his needs are. So when this customer came in, he spoke with myself about what tractor he's kind of looking for. He had mentioned that his neighbors had a tractor from us, an L3800, that they use quite frequently, and he'd actually borrowed a few times himself to do a few jobs here and there, and really enjoyed the tractor, but it wasn't big enough for what some of his needs were. So that kind of eliminated that series of tractor. I started by showing him the Grand Ls. Once you price out an open station L3560 or 4060, it prices very similar to an MX open station. So he kind of settled on going with the more horsepower and less features, as he was looking for a more basic tractor. Again, on this 150 acres, it was mostly exclusively bush with trails to maintain, as well as he was building a garage to house his new tractor in, as well as do some odd jobs with that. So he also had a sawmill. Whenever you're dealing with lift capacity, it's very important to match up to what the customer needs, and in this case he needed something that lifts, you know, between that 1,800 to 2,000 pounds, which really limits you either into a larger Grand L, which is starting at the 4760, which takes the 1055 loader, or an MX. Again, Grand L is going to price out quite a bit more than this. So again, basic tractor suited his needs a lot, and that's why we ended up with this package. Again, for in the bush and for in the winter, he really wanted a canopy to try and protect himself for anything like that. May or may not work out. Again, once you can take a canopy into the bush, some of those low-lying trees kind of come out of nowhere and clip it. So this has the new E1175 canopy up top, which means it's nice and easy to actually disconnect. So if he does want or is worried about it, it is pretty much it's easy to take on and off. It's one handle. It is rather large, but it is not too heavy. So again, if anybody worries about that, it is nice and easy to take off. And again, for the winch out back with Wallenstein, they make the FX85 as well as the FX110. Both would have worked fine with this tractor, as it has lots of horsepower there. The 110 does get a little bit, obviously it's a little bit more money and gets a little bit heavy for this tractor. It pairs up a little bit better with an M7060 if you're looking for more information on that. So that kind of brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.